So hi everyone, we just finished the amazing presentation of Malik Shaheed, and today we're going to, ask ask to people about how they feel about the presentation and some questions. So just follow me. Omalila. And the first question I'm going to ask is, did you know that black people in Quebec were treated that bad?
Well, I'm not surprised that they were treated that bad just from my own experience.
Well, kind of, because I'm an immigrant and I'm black, and obviously you can see that. The first time I started living in Quebec, I kind of faced discrimination, and I noticed that compared to the U.S., discrimination here is more like the people will still be nice with you, but they will be low-key racist.
Like it's microaggressions.
Yeah, it's microaggression. Sometimes it's even worse because you cannot vocalize it to someone. It's like someone is calling you the N-word. It's like when someone is refusing to talk to you or be nice to you because of your color.
Yeah. We're not surprised also. It's not we always see that, in the States it's always been the big thing, but it's pretty, for most people they think it's shocking that there's a lot of, racism happening in Quebec, but it's not, because it happens to literally everywhere, especially those who hangs out more with black people will see it than other people that don't,
Yeah.
As soon as you reach the age of 14, 15, you start recognizing a pattern of people acting a certain way around you. Or for example, when I was in secondary 4, there was literally a white man. He just came into my hair and started touching my braids, and I was just standing. I'm okay, I'm not comfortable with this. As a black woman, your actions are the actions of every black woman. So if you do something, it's not gonna be oh, Dolly did this. It's gonna be oh, black woman did this. This
Black women are like that.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about the presentation that we just had?
It was really great, and we learned a lot about information about black people in Canada, because usually we only focus on African Americans, but in the US and never in Canada, because I didn't even know there was new communities here. I was kind of shook, to be honest.
I think that the Malik was actually a really good speaker, and I think more schools, more CJEBs in specific should have speakers like him talk to students about it, and especially teachers and administration staff about this really important topic.
In what field do you think we should use the N-words?
I feel when black people use it, we don't use it as a mean way. It's kind of a way to express ourselves. So if we're not able to do so, how are we supposed to express ourselves?
I see a lot of people that aren't black that they use it. They say, "Oh, it's because I hang out with them, so I'm allowed to say it." But I don't think anybody else is really allowed to say it other than black people.
We shouldn't be saying it. Even though I particularly when I listen to music, I say the N-word sometimes, and I'm not proud of it. I know I shouldn't say it, but
I agree with the fact that only black people should say it, and if black people choose not to say it, that's them. But I still think we should be allowed to say it because it's a word that was used against us. So the way we're using it is we're using it to reinvent ourselves and to show a sense of brotherhood amongst us.
I think nobody should say it because the history behind it is really important, and when it's used to degrade people, and even though as black people we always say that we use that word to support each other as a community, I don't think that it has that importance anymore. Yeah.
In English or in French or whatever, they make us read books, and there's sometimes the N-words is present. Do you think that we should make students read them type of books? If why not? Because it kind of brings awareness, no?
I agree. We can give them books with that word in it, but I don't agree that any other black person should be able to say that word just because it's in a book. Everybody knows what the N-word is. You don't even have to spell it out. So you can say blah 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 N-word and move on.
By the way, there's no such thing as the N-word class, so please don't use that, okay? Don't, please.
Agreed. As a black person, would you feel more comfortable and better in your skin if you saw teachers, if you see more teachers looking like yourself?
Personally, I think so because I feel they're more aware of my experience. But other teachers, they can pretend that they understand, but they won't understand it until they lived it. So I feel when I see a black teacher, I'm okay, they understand what I'm going through as a student.
What do you think about the fact that the Black Lives movement is slowly dying out?
That shouldn't be it.
it didn't start when George Floyd died, but that was very an important event that enlightened people on, oh my God, this is happening. It woke people up, and I feel like this should have been the beginning rather than, oh my God, Black Lives Matter, and then 2 months after it dies.
I don't know. I feel like, yes, it is not talked about enough, but I wouldn't say it's dying, because I still hear people in my community and around mon entourage in my community still talking about it. But then again, they are mostly Black people, so I think that's why my answer is kind of biased. So I think maybe in other communities it's not talked about enough, but I wouldn't be able to say for sure.
The last question I'm about to ask is, do you consider yourself as an ally? If yes, how so?
I would say yes, because like, well, I do have like Black friends, and I'm always with them. Like I always listen to them, because we're visible minorities. I feel like we feel more each other than like if I were with the like Caucasian people.
I do think I'm an ally because I think it's very important to go get the information out there, go learn about like the inequality and everything.
It doesn't mean that you have Black friends that you're an ally, because you can still be racist.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
A lot of people think that because they have Black friends, they're like, oh, I'm an ally. No, you're not. You're so racist. Like, you don't care.
So this is about it for our first video. Thank you guys for participating, and I'll see you guys in the next video.